Nope.
No, okay. I'm
Do
gonna,
it.
I'm gonna sit down now, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Unfortunately, the unexpected loss of my father was not the only loss I've experienced in the past 7 months. When my dad passed in September, the love of my life, my partner of 13 years, was battling cancer. And less than 2 weeks after Ed and I were at Dad's funeral, we found out the cancer had spread to his brain. We came home with hospice, and on December 22nd, Ed and I got married in our living room. I never thought my dad wouldn't be there to walk me down the aisle. So, in lieu of the traditional wedding bouquet, I walked carrying my dad's urn so he could still walk with me. Then, Ed passed away on my dad's birthday, 19 days later, January 10th. I hadn't even had the chance to process Dad's sudden passing, and now I'd lost my husband too. On April 4th, I had to put down our sweet fat little dog Leia as well. And last weekend, we had a beautiful celebration of life for Ed, and their cremains were laid to rest together. And here we are today. I sincerely hope our family can finally have some closure and experience peace, because it's felt like we haven't been able to catch our breath for so long now, and I'm tired of having to be strong and carry on as the world implodes around us. What I wouldn't give for one of Dad's hugs right about now. Instead, I guess I'll do the next best thing and brag about the wonderful man he was in an attempt to put into words the great void left in our hearts and the preciousness of the memories we hold dear. Dad never knew a stranger. Everywhere he went, a lot of this is duplication, it sounds, be it the grocery store, dry cleaners, mechanic shop, etc., he turned everyday errands and interactions into an opportunity to spread kindness, genuinely asking how people are doing, following up with them at their next interaction, and lifting people's spirits with a warm smile. He never missed an opportunity to show people that someone cares about them and what's going on in their life, offering a patient ear, encouragement, advice, and mentorship. If you ever needed cheering up, someone to believe in you, or a "you got this" pep talk, he was your go-to man. You could count on hearing his voice above the other parents at games, flowers in hand at your recitals, a sympathetic ear when things didn't turn out the way you hoped, and an enthusiastic "I'm so proud of you" when your hard work paid off. He was my biggest fan, my soft place to land, my healer of hurts, whether it was patiently coaxing splinters out of my tiny bare feet as a child, or crying in his arms when someone had wronged me or hurt my heart. He was always there. We always knew we were loved, absolutely and unconditionally. He loved animals and didn't put up much of a fight that I can remember, as I brought yet another pet home from the pet store that I worked at as a teen. He bought the lettuce for the turtles, picked up the crickets for the reptiles, then more crickets as the menagerie grew. He took me to the emergency vet when we found an injured squirrel, and he'd send me pictures of the frogs and toads he'd find in the yard, and I'd send him pictures of my praying mantises and mine. He loved nature, science, and music. He shared his interest with us while also supporting the discovery of our own interests. Dad and I could talk for hours about our plants, sharing tips and tricks and pictures, or deep conversations about quantum physics, fractals, and wave mechanics, and philosophical questions. He loved playing guitar and sharing his love for music with us. I have him to thank for my wide appreciation for several music genres, and I'm glad we got to go to that Alice Cooper concert together for one of our daddy-daughter dates. Dad was a loving, incredibly caring, selfless, and humble man. He volunteered and gave back to the community by mentoring others, assisting people in need through St. Vincent de Paul, cooking and serving meals for the homeless, and then he would wash the bedding and other laundry for those in the shelter as well while he was there. He didn't do it for credit. He didn't brag about it. It was genuinely an act of service from his heart for those in need. The world would be a better place with more people like him. He was such an impressively accomplished man. Just reading his professional biography is enough to make you wonder what the heck you're doing with your life. He had an extensive military career, was very well educated, an avid reader, an MIT alumnus, loved and respected by those he worked with. I may be a little biased, but I believe his greatest accomplishment, though, was being the best husband and father we could have ever asked for. He was a high performer of everything that he did. Anything worth doing is worth doing right, and he excelled. I'd like to thank our parents from the bottom of my heart for doing such a great job of leading by example to instill in us the importance of family, telling people you love them, and showing kindness and compassion to others. And now that Dad's gone, every time I let someone go in front of me, give someone in need a helping hand, or any other little act of kindness, it feels even better to do so, because I get to carry on his legacy and honor him, keeping his memory alive. Every morning he would come in our rooms to give us kids a hug and kiss goodbye as he left for work, making sure to tell us, work hard, learn lots, and do good things, and remember your daddy loves you. Well, Dad, you worked hard, you learned lots, and you did great things. Remember your daddy's little girl, your Pasquale, loves you so incredibly much. Thank you.